Hello, welcome back. It's Rapid Regeneration. I'm David Escamilla. I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving any medical claims or advice or claims about diseases. I am basically just doing this because I went through something I didn't sign up to go through, which was really going through a terrible health trauma and losing my vivacity, losing my vitality, and just didn't feel like myself for years. And then I discovered some of this information. I implemented it. After 4 years of suffering, it took me 3.5 years to heal myself completely. And I embraced this information. I decided to go for it and to go after it and commit to solving my problems. And I had an open mind and I embraced it. And not everybody will. And it's so important to address this. This may seem like a side issue or redundant or not relevant to your journey. But trust me, you want to understand this sooner rather than later, because you're going to come across this. Somebody who isn't ready for this information, whether that's you yourself, and you need to sense that in your own awareness, and this is creating a block for you to actually progress forward, or you're going to come across friends, family, people close to you, co-workers, acquaintances, strangers. Guaranteed you're going to come across so many countless people like this that are not ready for this information. And you're going to basically, that's more likely, because if you're actually investigating this and you're with me so far and you're following along with the information that I'm sharing that was taught to me or that I learned myself, then I think that you have an open mind, you have a curiosity, and you have a commitment. So amazing job. Congratulations on that. And that's going to take you so far. But there's a lot of people that don't. And so you're going to come across them, and you need to understand this dynamic so that you don't lose momentum and that you know how to deal with this. So it's not a side issue. It's essential to understand this, which is why I'm covering this early before we go through some of this other strategic info that will help you. So you're gonna get some weird looks from people. Okay, someone's gonna be like, okay, when you're talking about eating raw foods, eating a lot of fruit, a lot of salads, maybe some vegetable juices, you're doing cleanses, people are, I guarantee people will look at you, certain people, like you're a freak of nature, like you're some kind of space alien. They're gonna look at you like this, and just don't judge them, okay? They're, in some cases, what they're looking at you as is that what you're doing is kind of like an aberration about what life is supposed to be all about. See, in this person's view, life is supposed to be about experiencing the physical sensory pleasures of eating like that. So it's important to understand where these people are coming from. And there's a couple different types of people. There's 3 main types. I'm gonna explain what those 3 are. But also, let me just say this. I want to address something, an elephant in the room. Okay, it's worth being honest about this, confronting this. Don't make the problem worse. Okay, please. just try not to be pretentious or pushy or preachy, when you're, or judgmental, and when you're pushing this stuff on other people. Because I've heard that some people they'll make somebody feel bad for eating junk foods, for eating animal foods, or they'll try to make them feel guilty, or they'll be judgmental, and very critical and, confrontational, adversarial. Just please try not to, don't encourage, having some kind of adversarial kind of response from somebody by being judgmental and critical and pretentious, towards them about what they're eating. Just understand we're all on this planet together. Everybody is an individual, who has the freedom to choose how they want to live, and unless they're hurting you, then just try to exist in some kind of harmony. I understand maybe you're empathetic towards the animals and you want to protect the animals and, but just understand, this is the planet we live on, okay? Just try to exist in some kind of harmony. Okay, so you're going to get these looks. Now, this may be your family members, people very close to you. This may be your friends that you've had for forever. Those are the ones that are the toughest. And so it's important to understand where people are coming from. So there's 3 different types of people that might look at you in this way. Like, you're doing what? You're doing what? You're eating that for your meal? You're cleansing yourself out, or you're going to not indulge in this person's birthday cake, or why don't you just live a little? Why don't you enjoy life? Why don't you stop and smell the roses? Why does everything have to be like so strict all the time? And Jane, she's no fun anymore. She's so healthy. She's making us all feel bad for eating what we're eating. And you're gonna start to get this vibe from some people. And so just understand there's 3 main types. The first type is somebody who is like my younger self in a way, because I was not particularly interested in plant-based or in raw foods or whole foods and stuff like that at all. I mean, I was open-minded. I could understand things like, the raw power of raw ingredients, eating whole foods rather than processed foods. And I was mindful about, having a balanced, healthy lifestyle with exercising, not overeating. But I was interested in being healthy enough where I could be trim, decently athletic, but that I could still eat. I still like to enjoy life. I still liked cooked foods, your meat, eggs, dairy, and sometimes all your breads, all the grains, alcohol, soft drinks, dessert type foods, although I tried to stay away from those. But I liked living a life where, 3 times a day I could experience this physical pleasure from food. And I felt like I was disciplined enough where I was maintaining my own version of balance. I still had a relatively good figure physically, and I still had a good life force energy throughout the day. I was drinking a lot of caffeine, but and I could enjoy myself. I could party and drink alcohol, and I could enjoy, daily life while still indulging in these guilty pleasures and these sensory delights. So basically, you have a lot of individuals that are like this. Okay, they're functioning at a good level. and they're enjoying their foods. And so why would you try to persuade them of how great that this information is? Because there is no immediate urgent health problem to be solved. What problem does this solve for them, for you to tell them how great this information is? There is no problem. So there's no point. I mean, now, you may be disappointed. Maybe they don't want to even go to the next level of energy and wellness, or maybe they don't want to prevent some future health problem that they're going to have. And that's really an issue with attachment that you're having, is you have an attachment to this individual, how they choose to live their life. And just please, it'll be so much easier for yourself if you just are just happy for them. Just understand they're enjoying a charmed life at the moment, and wish them the best. And you know what? If their health ever takes a dive, trust me, they're gonna call you up and ask you about this, because then they're gonna, they'll actually have a problem to solve and a reason to change. So there you go. I mean, the people that come into this whole program and are basically do so for one of two reasons, which is either inspiration or desperation. And I think that over 90% of people do out of desperation. That's why I did. It was out of desperation. Only a few souls that are elevated that come over out of inspiration. So then you have a second type of individual, basically, that's going to also look at you in this way, in this kind of freaked out way. And this is kind of the person that's, they're not functioning at an ideal level. This is very different. They may be suffering from low energy or other health problems, and maybe they've even given up. So sometimes you get someone who they just don't have the will or the strength, or they think they don't, to overcome their problems. And a lot of times these people, they turn to foods as one of their few remaining pleasures in life. Okay, you might have somebody, maybe somebody they're overweight, or they're burdened with a serious health problem, and they still eat rich, decadent foods 3 times a day. And for these brief, fleeting meals, you know what? They feel satisfied. They feel pleasure. So really, you possess this information that you think can help save them, but you're asking them to give up some of their last pleasures in life. And here's the other problem, is that they may not really believe that the power of raw foods and herbal supplements and cleansing will really work for them. And here, that's one objection. Now here's the big daddy objection. That is maybe the biggest one, is they may not really believe that in themselves that they can have the gumption to follow through and make the necessary change and take responsibility. So again, if you're dealing with this type of individual, you can see how maybe it's very futile to try to convince them to change their lifestyle. So this may kind of bum you out, and you might think, man, if you have somebody like this, maybe you should really be cheerleading them or motivating them to change. And if you want to do that, knock yourself out. I'm just telling you from experience, the type of individuals that you may be dealing with. And then you have category 3, which is a type of person that, they're kind of in the middle. They're not at their best. They're not feeling great, but they're also not feeling bad. They're not having horrible problems. And so, they're kind of just wishy-washy, lukewarm. They don't really have a reason to change. They have some aches and pains or things they would like to improve, but they're kind of just in the status quo, and they're not really likely to make a dramatic change. So this is kind of the spectrum that you might come across, and this can be tough. I mean, this can be really tough because the more cleaned out you get, the more healthy you get, the more you regenerate yourself and feel energy and wellness and just an amazing flow, then, the tougher this is, especially if you have people that are close to you and you have a big heart and you want to help people, like I want to help people. You have somebody close to you. Like I had this experience, and it was like a family friend and someone that was very close, and he was declining at a really rapid rate, and he was doing things that he was unaware that they were causing damage, and was kind of he was slipping deeper and deeper into a toxic, acidic condition, and he was taking all these different drugs, and ultimately he was getting closer and closer to the end. And I felt that I possessed knowledge that could help this person. If only he could implement a few things, I felt confident that it could have a very powerful effect, and maybe he could even recover. However, this person didn't want to try what I was suggesting, and instead he got worse, and within 6 months he was gone. So it's just the nature of the planet that we are on, and basically, once you heal yourself and you alkalize yourself, you may feel like you are now have this amazing knowledge that you can go out and solve the world's problems and get everyone healthy and well. Trust me, I understand. I feel the same. I've gone through this, and that's my mission of what I'm doing now with rapid regeneration. It's just that here on planet Earth, so many souls choose the sensory satisfaction, the more expedient route, the physical pleasures, at the expense of their body. So that's just the place we're at, is it's constant conflict, constant duality, and constant choices. People have choices that they can make. And so basically now I've decided, I can't save everybody. Not everybody wants to be helped. And I'm basically, I feel a great responsibility from the power of this knowledge to help people. But I've decided, that I'm just going to help people that want to save themselves, and that's what I'm doing. And I know you are someone who does want to help themselves and save themselves and transform yourself. So that's the person I want to help. And now it doesn't bother me if I see people who shun the power of natural health, raw foods, herbal supplements, and cleansing. Not everybody is ready for this information. So just be ready to handle that. I just want to make sure that they know about this option. As long as they know it exists, then I've done my job. As long as they know, but let them decide. If they want to choose the more expedient path, then you know what? I'm not going to lose sleep over it anymore. Even though it does pain me that people have to suffer like that. Or maybe they don't have to, but they do. So anyways, that's what my approach is now. I learned a lot of this stuff the hard way, I'm telling you. I have a big heart for people, and just have wanted to see people. I felt like I could help people, or I had the information that could help them, and saw people suffering. And this information is so powerful. After you experience it for yourself and you transform your body, you're going to feel like, oh my God, you want to just shout it from the top of a mountaintop. And just like, oh my God, everyone has to know how powerful this is, and what you can do, and and just understand though that not everybody is ready for this or wants it. And so that's how to handle it. The choice is yours, how to handle this when you deal with others. That's how I do it. So hopefully that will help you. I'm sure it will, because I know you're going to come across this very soon if you haven't already. And just stay strong. Stay strong. Never let someone else's energy or vibration, set up shop in your head. Keep powering through, and keep elevating what you're doing. And the place that you're going to is, I'm sure it's amazing destination. And so I'm honored to help you get there. Stay tuned. The next segments are going to be really key in terms of powering ahead. And so keep up the momentum. This is brought to you by rapidregeneration.com. Thank you, and bye for now.
For more information, please follow @Rapid Regeneration or visit rapidregeneration.com.